All right, guys, welcome to the MMA Fight Game Podcast, along with Full Contact Promotions and MMA Cage Chatter. We have a special guest today, Leanne Diaz, who is a debuting female fighter who is fighting on our August 19th, 2023 Attica, New York, Attica Take Down card, sponsored by Takedown Tree Service of Western New York. Leanne is a entrepreneur. She's a fighter. She's also a mother. So we're going to delve deep into everything that she's doing to get ready for her debut fight. Leanne, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. Catching some pool time with the kids outside and squeezing this interview in. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. So you're debuting. What made you decide to take an MMA fight?
Well, I started training earlier this year, and I just took off with it. I fell in love with it immediately. One of the teachers that teach with at my kid's school, she asked me to just come to a kickboxing class. She did not really give me the details of said kickboxing class, but I went to that class, fell in love with the gym. She introduced me to Sensei, and I have been in love with it since. I recently have relocated, so I kind of missed the gym. I've been gone for 2 weeks or so, but we planned this fight, and I'm going for it, flying back up home to get this done.
And you're still getting the work in under the Florida sun, and your
Yeah,
team.
a little bit more sweating down here.
Hey, that's all right. It'll make the weight cut a lot easier if you have to cut anyway. You look already pretty lean. You're
I
already.
got to cut a couple pounds, but I'll be good.
Yeah. And you're training it out of Gadfly in Jamestown, New York. That's the gym that you kind of got brought into for a kickboxing class, and then you fell in love with it, and here you are today.
Yep, Gafar Adams runs a class in Jamestown, and he has classes for all ages. And I just went in on one day, and then he told me all the other days I could come in. And through snowstorms, horrible weather up there. It's about 40 minutes from where my farm was in New York, and I committed, and I brought my kids to a bunch of classes, and then classes they couldn't participate in, he let them hang out in the hall, let them hang out in the mats and stuff like that. And they got to see mommy kind of bring herself out of a dark spot. And I am forever grateful for that gym and those people and this opportunity. So I'm in love with the sport. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And how many kids do you have?
I have three.
Okay. And what was your background growing up in athletics?
I started playing basketball when I was very young, and I had some childhood crap go on, and when I was 9, and I kind of delved into sports. That was my outlet. That's where, I don't know, I don't want to say anger, but that's where you can get your feelings out. And I fell in love with basketball, and then I moved. I've been back and forth from Pennsylvania to Florida a lot, but I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida in high school. And then I was kind of a big fish in a small pond in that high school. And I rose in basketball very quick. And I liked the drill of it. I liked being the best at it. I liked being the MVP. I liked working the hardest and being dog tired. So I've always been athletic in that sense. Then I did like track and, all that, everything in between just to stay fit for high school. And then I transferred from University of Tampa to UNLV in Vegas. And then I kind of gave up sports for Vegas for about 7 years. And then I came home and started a family. And then I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I need to get back into, the gym training. I hit a brick wall of not having that outlet. And now I feel solid again. I feel good again. And that's just from training.
Yeah, it's definitely a release. When were you out in Vegas? What years?
2003, 2004, for about 7, 8 years.
Now, in hindsight, Vegas is the fight capital of the world. Do you regret maybe not getting involved in that? or anything with MMA out in that scene with all the gyms and the training, but now
I've made some poor life decisions, but I have no regrets in my life because I'm here right now. So everything was meant to happen how it was supposed to. And I wasn't ready. I was not mentally ready to do any of this when I was 20. I moved out there when I was 18, 19, and I wasn't in the mindset for this. And then I came home, had a bunch of kids. I was in a toxic relationship. I left that relationship. I'm a single mom. I have no support. I pay for all this shit myself. And I'm a fighter for every aspect of my life. And the mat and the gym and the class and the coaches and those people are actually the time I don't have to fight for my life. You know what I mean? Like that's where I can be calm, controlled, taken care of, held. You know what I mean? Like I feel safe there. So I wouldn't have been ready to be any sort of fighter back in that time frame or that mind frame.
And how do you balance being like a mom and training? I know you said you let the kids come and they kind of dicked around on the mats, kind of like what the kids do with their parents when their parents come to my CrossFit gym and things. But what like how do you balance that?
I get asked a lot about balancing, especially with my business, like balancing work and working from home and training and all that. There is no balance. It's an ebb and flow. I run when I can run. I run with the flow of life when I can. And then when things slow down a little bit, I fit in anything I can. Like this morning, my kids were sleeping a little bit later. We just moved into our new house 2 days ago. So it's been a whirlwind the last couple weeks. They were very excited last night, staying up late, decorating their rooms and stuff. So this morning they were sleeping in late. So I messaged my coach and said, hey, can we get something in real quick, video time real quick before they wake up? So I take that opportunity. I know every day I have to show up for myself first, not as a mom, not as a fighter, not as a, entrepreneur, nothing. I have to show up for me first. So I know I have to get a workout in. I know I have to get my shit together. I have to, do some sort of center in the morning. And this last couple of weeks I have not been because I've been traveling and living out of suitcases. So it hasn't been a lot of balance. So now I'm ready to get back in routine. But even traveling and stuff, my mom and aunt were hanging out with the kids. I'm like, hey, I got to go take a run on the beach, or, I got to answer these emails from my phone, and I can do kicks while holding my phone, like I'll run the business and go for a run at the same time. So, balance is overrated. There's no, just ride the wave. You know what I mean? I'm going to ride it as long as I can. I'm going to stay up as long as I can. When I fall down, I'm going to get back up. Balance is not really a vocabulary word for me.
Yeah, I was excited to see all these fights August 19th. You told me one of your teammates, Rowe, is fighting. What's her first name?
Shannon Rowe.
Shannon Rowe's on there, but I see a lot of ladies on this fight card, which is phenomenal to see because honestly, you guys always bring it. Women fighters, they always bring it. So I'm excited to see. I think I see 3 on the card, which is amazing to see. When you were out in Vegas, did you ever go to a live UFC event?
No, I mean, I did a lot of promotions for like AT&T, and I worked marketing for the whole time I was there. So I was around, around fights, around when things were getting set up and stuff like that. But I was so into business and working at that time, it wasn't an interest for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the reason I bring that point up is because I truly believe in my heart of hearts, the reason the UFC is as successful as it isn't because of us dudes. It's actually because of you women, right? If you go to a live Vegas fight or you even go to a bar, it's like 60-40 women to men. These girls are dressed to the nines. They're into it. They're intelligent about it. It's amazing to see. And I truly believe that. And, that's one of the things with this Attica Takedown show is Bubba's got 3 female fights, your fight, your teammates fight, Baby Sam's fight, and you know the women bring it, man. It's amazing to see. So you know, I'm excited. And then you mentioned your entrepreneurial spirit. I know you're with a health and wellness company, but probably more disguised as like a leadership company, just like some other marketing companies, sales companies, things like that. We won't use the MLM or anything like that because I know how that's taboo. But
You can use MLM. I'm a fan of direct sales, so
I am
I'm
too.
trying to put money in my pocket, not in somebody else's. So that's where I'm at. I feel good. I use the products daily. I actually started training and then realized like I left my previous job. I left a 7-year relationship. I was with the kids by myself. It was the middle of winter in Snowtown, New York. I was on a farm, everything was ice, and I was like, I gotta do something for myself. I can't keep doing this. I substitute teach at the same school. Shannon, she's been a teacher for a long time, but I work at that school, and it was just like I need something else. So I got a sample of Thrive from one of my cousins and took off from there. I woke up, felt better. Then I thought it was like a placebo effect. Like, obviously, I woke up, I went for a run, you know, like, obviously, I'm going to feel better. And then the next day, I had that energy again. And I realized my sleep was getting better. My guts were feeling better. Like, I just was not as snappy with my kids. I wasn't overstimulated. So I ran with it. I became a promoter, and it has financially afforded me to be able to move back to Florida. I wouldn't have been able to make this move without, you know, being in direct sales. And I can go to the gym when I need to go to the gym. I can work from my phone. I can go to kids events, you know, all that. So it's
Go to concerts in Florida, right?
yeah, yes. It was my son's birthday.
I know.
I mean,
I'm not
it
judging.
was
Now the important question is, you got those samples for me?
yeah, so I saw it said, look, and I got all this right here. I mean, I'm not going to send you this because this is my stash, but I'll get you some in the mail. I wake up, take these little capsules. It's like a jumper cable. 10 minutes later, drink one of these shakes. It tastes like, I like candy. I'm like a sweet person. So I drink one of these shakes, that one's snickerdoodle. And then I put one of these patches on, and these are like nutrients that are too delicate for your gut to absorb. And it's just like slow leaks into you all day. Take it off at night, good to go. And then there's like other stuff I have. This is like a collagen thing. When I first started running again, my ankles and knees are shot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're 38, you're not 18 anymore. So I realized I needed to do something, and this just has like glucosamine and chondroitin and stuff in it. So
Yeah.
it just helps overall with nutrition. And when I started beating my body up again, I realized I needed a little bit, and I needed to gain weight. It is a weight loss. Like, it helps a lot of people lose weight, but it's just gut health, and my guts were a wreck. So I gained some healthy weight. I was able to get back in the gym, and then I started training, and it's just snowballed from there. So now I'm ready to get in the ring. I mean, when I first signed up, he said, "What are your goals?" So I just want to fight somebody. That's all I want to do.
I love it. Well, not to put any undue pressure on you, but you know, if you believe in the higher power, make sure you pray, because you know, the event is outside under a tent, but the town is fully behind it. And you know, we're anticipating anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 people at that event on August 19th at the Attica Veterans Memorial Park. And everybody's like really into it. And if you've never been to a live MMA fight, it's
I've been to a couple, but I understand that. I like the pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. The bigger the crowd, the better. I have no qualms about that part of it. I just want to make sure that I show up respectfully and honor, you know, my gym, my coach, my training, and stay in my zone. You know, I don't want to get off centered when that, you know, when the pressure hits and the fight actually starts. I have to remember, you know, I'm in a cage, like that this is the real deal, and there's rules to follow. So that fight or flight is what I've been working on at classes. So that's what I want to see. I want to put myself to that test, stay controlled, stay calm, stay calculated. That's where I'm trying to progress in all areas of my life. And this is kind of that test to see if that physicality can take over, that mental state. So we'll see. It's going to be a show either way.
Facts. And what's your expectations for August 19th?
I want to walk in. I want to have fun. I want to support my teammates. I want a good show. I don't want anyone to get hurt. And obviously I want to win. I mean, that's always going to be the game plan. Everybody has a good game plan until they get punched in the mouth. I just don't mind getting punched in the mouth. I mean, I hope I don't, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
After August 19th, are you planning on fighting again, or is this kind of like a one-off thing?
Oh, I'm addicted. I'm ready. And now I'm down here. There's a lot. I mean, I'm from a small town in New York, and there's, just Gaff's gym. There's not many other places to train. And down here, there's a gym on every corner. So I want to get physically, peak physically. And then obviously I'll sign up for anything. That I have no shame in that. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to respect the entertainment and, the dojo sport of it. Like, that's me. I just want to go there to learn and have the experience. I'm trying to experience all things in all arenas. And this is my peak right now. So this is what I'm interested in, and I'll keep going for it.
Yeah. It looks like there's a good, where you are in Florida, it looks like there's a good, Gracie jiu-jitsu gym that's there. There's a couple of female coaches down there. So, there truly is, I know some guys, I'm friends with some guys that train at, American Top Team and Black Zillions and things like that. So like you said, there's one like in every corner for sure.
Yeah, there's literally one like right around the block from as soon as I went to the post office to change my address from New York to Florida, that same parking lot had a gym. So I'm like, okay, this will be okay. Cause I was worried when I got down here, like I need to find a gym to hit for, 2-3 weeks before I go back home. So I'll definitely find some gyms, feel it out a little bit. And once we get back in the routine of school and, my kids get new friends and, I have family down here. So once we get in kind of a routine, then I'll see where I can fit that in and balance. See what I can get going and try to sign up for as many fights down here as possible.
Now you told me offline that your dad was on the radio and he was around a lot of influential musicians because back in the day when he was on the radio that it was important to get played on the radio, and you were around some big time bands, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, things like that, which was, definitely an experience growing up for sure, meeting those rock stars. What does he think of you fighting?
He's all for it. 100%. I'm at his house right now. My kids are playing in his pool, and he asked me, he has my kids now training, doing jumping jacks and sit-ups and treading water. I mean, that was our bonding when I grew up, was sports. He actually switched from rock and roll to sports talk. So he's been doing sports talk for a long time, and that was our bond growing up. Was I was an athlete, and now I'm back to being an athlete, and he's very proud and he's all for it. My mom not as much, but
yeah,
she said, she said something about when I was still in New York. Well, it's about to be summer again. You can just go back to running. No, Mom, that's not how this is gonna work. She's worried, obviously. But another thing with my dad, when all of that was going down when I was younger, and there's a lot of big names around. Those big names in his radio station were also very connected to WWE. So, I have my dad and Hulk Hogan know each other, like Randy Savage, all the Ric Flair, like I hung out with them when I was younger, so that was fun, if we can get ropes in that cage, I'll definitely jump off the top ropes. Like let's get a people's elbow on here. So
So,
that was fun times.
so when you win on August 19th, are you gonna jump on the top of the cage, do a backflip like Justin Gaethje did last
I
night?
mean, yeah, I don't know if I could land that, but I'll get on the back of the cage and do like a twisty or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
then,
trying to get hurt after the fight.
so you said your dad's into sports talk radio. What does he know about mixed martial arts? Anything?
I mean, he keeps up with UFC and stuff like that, but he's more into how I'm training. My training partner actually came down here for a little over a week, a couple weeks ago, just so she could help me out and we could train down here because I was going through a move and, getting houses and getting financially set up and everything. So she came here and we trained a lot and, we got pads out and trained in my dad's pool, and he was very impressed with me going against her. She's more experienced than me. And he kept asking her, do you think she's gonna do good? Think she's gonna win? And Shannon, obviously my teammate, said, yeah, she's feisty. She doesn't have any quit in her. So I'm
I agree with
excited.
that.
I mean, either way, it's gonna be a show. That's what I'm trying to say. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Dana White has famously said that no matter who you are, what your background is, what your nationality is, what your skin color is, everyone understands fighting. You could put 4 sports on a corner. You could put basketball, baseball, and football, but you put fighting. More people are gravitate towards fighting because they understand it and they like it.
Right.
And that's the thing, is that this. I don't know if the small town of Attica, New York, August 19th for our full contact promotions, Attica Takedown, is going to know what hit, but they're going to want that event each and every time, because I can tell you that Bubba, who's the matchmaker and the owner, he was doing these fights when he was in the motherland in Jerusalem, Israel. So he was doing a lot of work. We were communicating back and forth. So he has been doing a lot of work, and I think he's a matchmaker. And that these guys online, they're talking, well, matchmakers got to do better, blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, you have all these things that happen. People got to accept the fight. Then you have the training
Mm.
injuries. You got to take certain matchups. They might not want to take a matchup because they got to take it the right way, and
Right.
what their goals are. But everybody understands fighting. Everybody likes it. I am definitely excited to see you meet you August 19th at the Attica Takedown, sponsored by Takedown Tree Service of Western New York. Leanne, I truly appreciate your time. I'm definitely looking forward to getting those Thrive samples. Hopefully, if they taste good, like we have talked about, which you say they are, so I'm going to believe you 150%. Maybe we'll get Thrive on the MMA Fight Game podcast as a sponsor, and we crush it together. But I truly appreciate it. Sit tight, okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and I can't wait till August 19th.
Let's go. Hold on.